save me, because in the ancient Kemetic teaching, we teach knowledge of self.
Yeah. Yeah, and so many people are disconnected.
Power to heal is within. Yeah, and we've been miseducated so that we're not connected. But I arrived at those conclusions, and it's not rocket science. It's simple, you know. Hey, there's no such thing as HIV. I don't have to believe that I'm an abomination. You know, there's nothing wrong with me. I love myself. If I get a little physical illness or something, I can heal it. I may have to learn to forgive. I may have to let go of something that happened in the past or childhood, forgive my father or whatever, my girlfriend or my husband, and, you know, that I was married to 4 or 5 years ago. Because we know for a fact that metaphysics and consciousness and disease creation proceeds from the etheric body into the physical body based on our levels of consciousness. And that, to me, is the wave of the future, teaching people that may have that ability, because the body is a God technology. We just need to line up. This is designed to be healthy. And if we get sick, it is because it is a gift to us from the Most High, saying, hey, so wake up, Carl. Take a look at yourself. Take a look at your life. Take a look at the way you're reacting and acting in work. Are you balanced, or are you out of balance?
It's funny.
Are you overly... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying, when you were talking about illness being a wake-up call, I had a friend that actually cured herself from cancer, and she said that cancer was the best thing that ever happened to her. I was like, what?
Yes.
How do you, what? What do you mean?
Yes.
That was just
See, that's the thing about it.
I didn't think it was crazy, but I thought that was a crazy statement. Like, how do you...
Oh, no.
Now I get it. Now I get
that person has definitely grown spiritually speaking, because cancer,
Yeah.
according to Louise Hay, you know, and other, you know, scientific research is being done now on consciousness. There are instruments that actually measure our emotions and all of that, stress levels, etc. There's photography, Kirlian photography, that can take pictures of the aura and show what dark areas or blockages are in the body. But the idea that people who get cancer have been in a consciousness of long-standing resentment and inability to forgive and let go of the past. They carry that weight around all their lives, and then all of a sudden, they are told that they have cancer. But the beauty is, when you understand the human body chakras, the root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakra, and generally speaking, the organs around the location of that chakra generally govern it. And when you read Carolyn Meese's book, The Anatomy of the Spirit, she teaches principles. That's what my bio says. I teach the principles of self-healing. Every chakra has a principle. For instance, if in the solar plexus, which is the stomach area, you know, you feel your body rumbling, you know, and you don't really know why. You know, you get sick, you run to the store, you get Pepto-Bismol, or you stay out from work because your stomach hurts. You know, or you go to the doctor and pay him hundreds of dollars, rather. You know, but if you know that the stomach symbolically represents the ability to digest ideas, consciousness, and then you take a look at your own life, and maybe something's going on at work where you're scared you might get fired, or maybe you think your husband is cheating on you. Get worried and fearful about that, or whatever situation is going on in your life, you can take a look at that. And the principle of the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, is to respect yourself. And if you are not respecting yourself in whatever situation that is, for instance, you're giving all your power away to your husband who you think is cheating, or you're giving it all away to your boss who you feel like is being mean to you, and you're not speaking up for yourself and taking back your power, you're going to be ill.
Yeah.
So the rumbling and the fear and all of that is a wake-up call to you, that you have power within yourself to regain your control, not control, but regain your health, to rebalance your energy. And you can do that with every body organ there is. If you know the spiritual, symbolic significance of it, if it's ill, you can relate it to the chakra, observe that principle, and take a look at your own life and heal yourself.
Yeah, and this is one
That
thing too.
is so powerful.
And this is one thing I feel that the establishment does not want us to be able to do, because once we have knowledge over how we work and how to heal ourselves, then we'll be less dependent on them. We won't be dependent on them at all.
They can't pay for their second homes and, children's Ivy League and, vacations all over the world. If we're not coming back to them.
Yeah.
I don't think I won't say that they,
Well, it's a whole system.
They are not trained for any chakra.
Well, yeah, but no, I don't think that they're intentionally, maliciously doing this, but it's the whole system. It's the way the system is set up. All right, so Demian, I have a question. I have lots of questions. What is the root chakra, and is it the key to our sexuality? And can disruption of the energy to the root chakra make us insane or possessed or depressed or give us other negative effects?
Well, first of all, just to understand that the human body chakra system is how the world of spirit is manifest in the physical plane. And in a sense, it's the story of the gods in us. When we think about the story of Zeus and Prometheus, Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans, and as a retaliation, Zeus had him chained to a rock and the vultures ate of his flesh. Well, within us are the gods. And the root chakra is the bottom of the spine, positioned in that area. And it signals our arrival into the physical body to experience earth and to experience life in the earth plane. It represents our connection to our tribe, our family, the basic needs of survival in life. And when there are disturbances in the root chakra or any chakra, we are going to experience physical manifestations of illness. And really, you can just imagine the organs that are in that area. For instance, if you're having a bowel issue or a lower intestine issue, then that's where it would manifest. But again, all you have to do is take a look at your own life. The principle of the root chakra is all is one. All is one. And with that awareness that we are all from the source of God, no matter our skin color or any of that, we're all reflections of source. And in your own life, if you're not living in that consciousness, you're probably going to experience some illnesses in the root chakra as a result of the imbalance of energy being distributed through that center.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because it can go anywhere. You're talking about specifically about the root chakra, but then there's several. How many chakras are there again, exactly?
There are hundreds of chakras in the body and the planet and all throughout the cosmos. However, for most purposes, people talk about the 7 major ones.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And Christine, I believe it was, who asked about sex. Well, while the chakras are all integrated, for purposes here, we're simplifying. The sacral chakra will be the one associated with the sex organs because it's positioned right in that area. Sacred dwelling place chakra. And so that would be the next one. I don't know if you want to discuss that now or not.
Well, no, I was just finding this interesting because I didn't really know about this until recently. And when I started reading about the chakras, I realized I had a lot of blocks within my throat chakra, which was interesting to me because I had, as a kid, I used to get chronic sore throats all the time. Like if I was getting a sickness, it was always my first area that I would notice, and it was always the last to heal. So it was the hardest for me to get through. So I really believe what you're saying, but I hadn't, it was something I just wasn't aware of until recently. So I find it interesting that you're using this knowledge and you're sharing with people about how to.
Oh yeah, it is so fascinating. Hey, I I used to slip in knowledge of the chakras when I was teaching 4 and 5-year-olds. I had my behavioral management system designed around the principles of the chakras. You know, if I see little Johnny forgiving his friend for poking his eye, I call attention. Hey, guys, look, Johnny's forgiving Matthew for poking him in the eye. He gets the green ball. And I give him the little green piece of prescription paper with the Velcro on the back, and he'd go up to the body tracing on the wall. There was a body tracing that was kid size and had all the little chakra points in their colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, on the back, and he'd stick it on the heart. I said, isn't that great? He's forgiving his friend, even though his friend was wanting to hurt him in that moment. But they're friends with him. And the children would go, yeah, you know? So they would learn about the chakras without even knowing. But you spoke of the throat chakra. Yeah. So when they decorate the Christmas tree, that's what it's symbolic of. All those colors, those are the chakras. With the star at the top, when that energy rises to the ground, and it's illumination. When you see that halo around the character Jesus, his head, it indicates the illumination, that the energy has risen to the crown chakra. And symbolizes oneness with the Creator. But the throat chakra have a principle to surrender personal will to divine will. It is the center of expression where we voice our opinions or our thoughts about things. And first, there's an interesting story on that is when the then Department of Secretary of Health, Margaret Heckler, was announcing to the world about HIV, with Robert Heckler standing right next to her. She could hardly get it out. She was and I thought to myself, go get that book. Even though I already knew somebody got Louis Facebook. I looked up laryngitis, and it said an inability to speak up to authority. Now, I don't know, but imagine the pressure she must have been under in charge of the health of the people in this country. And she knows, perhaps, that there's no definite proof that what they're about to announce to the world. And she could hardly get it out. But I submit to you that if you were to look at your own life, and you know, all these things aren't cut and dry in stone, but they are tools that you can use to evaluate your own life. You know, you can just take a look at your own life in the privacy of your own meditation time and say, hey, who is it in my world that I'm having a hard time sticking my truth to?
And it's true. And at the end of the day, it's about people really figuring things out for themselves and what works for them and their issues. There's no one size fits all. And that's one of the major flaws in the medical industry. It's like everybody, you know, it's designed now. It wasn't that way. But, you know, until the Rockefellers came and, you know, we created a schism and you know, now it's become this one-size-fits-all situation where that's not true, you know, and it doesn't work, it doesn't heal, it, you know. I'm a little curious.
When you go to the doctor, what generally happens is they listen to your symptoms, and then they write on a pad what those symptoms are, and then they come with those. They rarely talk to you.
Which create more symptoms, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
I was saying they come back with the pad of you know, with the prescription to address the symptoms, and I said which creates more symptoms, basically.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
you know, I weep like, because my friends that I thought I would grow old with, who, you know, essentially were murdered. They were, you know, seeing a psychiatrist because they were depressed or suicidal. They were alcoholics because they were drinking themselves to death, trying to understand and figure out how to get through this crisis. And they were going to the doctors for their physical symptoms, and they would have all these pills on the desk. And they would just, I don't understand how anybody can think that doing that wouldn't devastate the body's natural balance. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's the way people have been conditioned to believe. And every one of those prescriptions, somebody gets paid for that. Somebody gets kickbacks for that.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that doctors do that is just accepted practice, and it's got to stop.
Wow, yeah.
And the only way to stop is by people becoming educated and saying no.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and that's the thing. We deify doctors. We give our power, or not only doctors, but the whole scientific, establishment, and we give our weight to them. And it's become this religion where, some people might not want to hear that, and I'm not saying the methodology of science is ineffective and irrelevant, but the whole, what science has become, people even use the words like, I don't believe in, I believe in medication, I don't believe in alternative, I believe in science, you can see it.
And that's what has made it so hard for people like me, because we've come to this awareness through our own personal illnesses. And yet, the system as it is won't even allow us to make a living sharing what we know. Because the system that is in place is so staunch, and that people, in effect, have been dumbed down to not even know the power that they have to deal with.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it presents a threat to the establishment, which is what some people call the AIDS religion.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah. That's how it's preferred. And so, like I said, I just think that the more educated people become to the fact that there are other sides to every issue, and that they, particularly through their own computers, if they're discerning, and everybody's doing that now. I think they're looking into things more on their own.
And talking to people too. I mean, that's a huge part of it.
Talking to other people.
I think why you get demonized too is like you're a living testament that you can have a quote unquote HD diagnosis, but or like kill yourself or not even succumb to illness or death. And that's really, I think that actually has more of an effect on people than any scientific paper or document that can ever, be produced. And that's what really changes people's minds. And that's what really, because, when they were getting people scared about AIDS, they were showing pictures of people that were emaciated and sarcoma scars and stuff. They weren't like, here, they weren't putting the scientific papers on TV and showing people, to read that. They were showing images and pictures and stuff like that.
That's little cells under a microscope with a person standing there in a white coat and an arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's HIV.
Yeah.
Terrifying the mass public.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
I was one of those people.
For sure, and that's how they do. So I think I hope people also start to realize that. And like I said, I love science. April and I both love science. We're not saying it's irrelevant, but and they also like to dismiss anybody that has a personal story of healing as anecdotal evidence. But it's a hypocrisy because that's what they use to get people to their lives.
You'd be surprised the level of really seems like hatred that I get from people. Mostly from most of the people that I want most to help themselves.
Yeah.
People questioning me and my credentials, and I can end every argument. I said, well, if HIV is the truth, how do you explain that I stopped taking my drugs after 1 year, 18 years ago, and never looked back? What is it about me that's so special that, I can defy HIV?
Yeah.
Yet you can tell me everything you've seen on television, everything you've read in a magazine, but you can't prove any of it. It's all propaganda. You can't find me the science because it has clearly been shown, although it doesn't make mass media, by Dr. Papadopoulos. I think that's how you say her name.
Eleni Papadopoulos,
Eleni Papadopoulos, and
the Perth
Henry Bauer, it's just so
Peter Duisberg and Carrie Mullis.
Peter Duisberg, all of these people, Celia Farber, Christine Mitchell, all of these wonderful people who have been trying to bring this message to the world. You don't hear much about that. The science, the real science. But people are passing out science, which is only propaganda.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating that I'm sitting here the living proof, and I'm telling you that HIV is a lie. You don't have to buy into that. But you know what? A lot of people, because of miseducation about the thing, they have such fear and guilt and shame about it that maybe they slept with 2 people in a week, and then all of a sudden they take on the idea that they may be a whore. You know?
Yeah.
You go around like that every time you sleep with somebody. You feel guilty and bad, but you don't realize you're affecting your own immune system, you're affecting your own consciousness, you're affecting your own body. And so when they get a symptom, they get all afraid. They run to the doctor, they take an HIV test, and that test is another thing we really need to start looking at. What is it that they're looking for? I won't jump to Crystal Mayer, I think it's Mayer or Meyer. Mm-hmm. She's a microbiologist. She's saying just what I said earlier, that those tests look for DNA expression is the word she uses, of something in the immune system, and whatever that is, it is most often found in black people, and that's why black people test positive for HIV more often than others. Not because they're promiscuous or having any sex more than anybody else, not because the men or whatever. All the horrible things that are said about our people are not true. They use people like Magic Johnson and some of these reigning celebrities who just want their face in front of the camera, see themselves on the ad, who don't understand the crisis, who are not personally going through it, who are getting paid to keep this lie going. And it is so disconcerting to somebody like me and others like me who are out there trying to help people wake up to the parts of this whole hoax.
I just want to ask you, we're pretty much almost out of time, but I wanted to ask you, because I think a lot of people might be listening to this and they'll be like, oh, chakras, that's just frou-frou, and there are a lot of people in the so-called truth movement who, who demonize the stuff like chakras because they see it as part of like the New Age movement. And I'm just curious, what do you think about the demonization of the New Age movement? And do you think in some instances it causes people to become apathetic, self-centered, and materialistic? Or what are your thoughts on that? Because I know there's some people that might be listening. They might
I just say this, that I was part of the New Age movement. All of us are who are waking up. And then we're learning to discern as we go along.
Yeah.
We learn that a lot of things we're learning might not be true. But what I do know is it's not written in the stone. If it didn't come from ancient Africa, from Chile, from my ancestors, my ancestors, it's probably not the truth. And you can go and study the temple of Luxor. Lux meaning light. And it is a tool, was a tool that you can literally step in and vibrate yourself to higher awareness. In the walls of the hieroglyphs tell the story of the chakras. Now, while you may not be able to conceptualize the whole thing and say to yourself that it is true, I can tell you right now what I'm sharing with you is replete throughout history, throughout literature, even symbolism in the Bible. The lighting the 7 lamps, the burning bush, the light in the head is the pineal gland. There's so much symbolism and things in these literary texts that point to chakras and kundalini, and I would say delve into that. Don't allow me to tell you. Don't allow your pastor, your wife, or anyone. Look into things for yourself and let your spirit guide you to the truth.
Oh, could have been
That's
said
what
better.
I'm wishing for people.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So where can we get your wonderful book and any more of your works and learn more about you and connect with you? Please let our audience members know.
Thank you. I am available to travel anywhere on this planet. This is what I do. It's what I love. I have people who contact me who've experienced a complete turnaround just in becoming aware of the other side of the issue. Just the other day, a guy was thanking me for all the things he's learned. He stopped taking his drugs, and he said made him feel like the life force was being drained out of him. You can see people with a caved-in face or caved-in body look. They don't exude any sexual energy, any life force energy, because those drugs are harming them. Yeah. But what I want to do is direct your attention to the website, consciousdoctor.com. I not only tell my story, I provide the resources, the documentaries. I call it a one-stop shop for all things HIV percent. We will be expanding this year. We want to have subscribers and other areas, maybe bloggers, so people can interact with each other. All of those are in the making. But take a look on YouTube at my channel. I've got several videos. One is the first part of the book. there is no HIV. I've got two versions of it. One has study type music, house music that's popular among homosexual culture. But it's 190-something slides with all the sciences there in a fast tempo. And the other one, by contrast, is the same presentation, but the music is slow and haunting. Sort of reminds you of Schindler's List, that music that was haunting. It's kind of like that, so you can really, people say, oh, I love the music. That's the music on the website. So, oh, I love the music. Where did you get that? And I thank the guy that helped me, the graphic designer. Every video that I've done has metaphysics in it, sacred geometry in it, something for the spiritually intermediate level person or the adept instantly recognize. So things that affect you on a subliminal level and heal your body and your spirit and your soul. So
it's a consciousdr.com. So it's not the whole word.
Consciousdr.com.
Yeah.
On that, you'll find all the videos and the interviews. You'll see one is called the HIV/AIDS Trap. The slow version, I list everything on the screen long enough for a person to sit there and read the entire board. On the fast version, you can either pause it or keep it moving, but I gave you two options on that. And then the second half of the book, the metaphysics of self-healing through chakra and kundalini awareness, I created another video for that. And it teaches all about the temple of Luxor, all about the chakras, all about their principles, all about the organs of the body and their spiritual symbolic significance, all set to a beautiful beat that keeps you interested and entertained from the beginning to the end. So, I covered all of that. And the interview that I did on Living in Black Radio in 2011 broke that into two parts. One is about chakras and kundalini. The other is where the audience members got to call in and ask questions about health. So that's out there. And then the Divine Mother Come In video. Please take a look at that.
Thank you, Damien. Yeah, that's great.
Look at the history of the Divine Mother. The Divine Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. She's not leaving the Divine Mother out. She birthed creation. You two are representatives of her. And that is what is happening at this time, the reawakening of the Divine Feminine in the consciousness of humanity. All of that's in the book. I hope that you will all take a look at the website and my book, share it with others. And don't be afraid to carry it because there is no HIV. Nobody's going to think you have HIV if they see you carrying that book. No, to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't want to be seen walking around with that book. Well, I didn't want to sugarcoat. The first book I wrote, and I'll be done shortly. The first book was The Rainbow Warriors, and the guy that helped me publish it, Healing HIV. And I was like, I want to take HIV out of it because I don't believe in HIV. Why would I put Healing HIV when it doesn't exist? It doesn't exist. So that's why I was so adamant in this book. There is no HIV.
Yeah.
That's the simple truth.
Yeah.
We've all bought into a lie, and we don't have to do that anymore. And I'm the living proof, and thousands of other people all around the world might not have the courage to speak up and tell the story.
I'm going to cut you off because we're out of time right now. But
we really appreciate it. You've done a great job. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
you are so welcome. I'm sorry that I ran a little long. I just had to say and I wanted to get it all in. But thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
And